Okay, when you open the AD-400, be very careful what you do with the documentation, which is right on the top. Probably the most important piece that you'll need is this template, which will show exactly the holes that you need to cut. This is a standard cylindrical lock, so that should match up, but you are going to need to be able to cut a hole, which this is ultimately for the wire between the two modules on each side of the door, and then these clamps. So please, this is to scale. Use the template before you drill, and obviously measure twice. Very important, don't misplace that. When you peel this back, we've partially assembled the AD-400. It's actually already been paired with the LS2 control panel, so you don't need to set anything up. You just need to do the final connections after you've mounted. So I'm just going to take you through. This box is just a filler, there's nothing in it. This piece is the outside piece, and I'm just going to pull this out. And we've already mounted the reader. So this is a card reader plus a pin pad reader. So you will have a test card that will be able to test this. Flip this over, and this is the cable that will connect this module to this module. So this has been partially assembled. We have not driven any screws on the back side. So make sure that everything is fastened before you put it together. The next piece is the inside module, and this has a little bit more assembly required. And what we did is we actually already mounted the batteries, but we have not powered it, so we wanted to spare the batteries. So this screw is just simply hand tightened in here, and you have to pop this cover off, and you will see that the batteries have been mounted and screwed down, but you do need to plug this in. So that plugs together, and that will power the device. Make sure that is plugged in. As far as the top thing, this is a module of where the antenna goes, and I'm going to move this to the side and show you how to install the antenna. So the antenna is in this box, wrapped very carefully, and please handle this with care. This is probably the most important piece. And so it's wrapped here in the bubble wrap. Now the antenna installs like this. So you have a plug and a plug, and then you have these two little guides right here that line up with these holes. So you would just, first you want to plug it in so it goes in all the way, and then snap it down onto the holes. So it goes very easily, you just need to be gentle, and that's how the antenna sticks, and it sticks out. And so how do we cover that up? That's with this piece. So it's just a plastic piece. Notice there's a couple of screws. Don't lose those screws. And then this is the plastic cover that goes on here. And that will just slide on and snap on, and you'll use the screws. And so this is what's mounted on the inside of the door. As you can see, that's where the cylindrical lock is. This is where the cable is going to be pulled through to show you how that is. So outside of the door, inside of the door, and that cable just goes through like that. So obviously you don't want to put this cover on before you plug it in. And then carefully, without putting tension on the wire, that just plugs right in. And now that is set up. So the way I have this right now with the batteries, if I were to connect the batteries, connect the two modules, install the antenna, the device will work. Other things in the box that you should be aware of is the key core and the keys. So this is just the standard key core. This will fit right into the one of the levers, and then there's the keys. Make sure you give this to the customer. After you install it, clearly test it to ensure that the key override works, and then give that to the client. And then you have just other piece parts from a mechanical perspective. These are your levers. The handing is field swappable, so right, left hand, you just have to install them on the right way. And then these are the necessary piece parts, which you may not use all of them when it comes to actually physically mounting it. The screws, there is a door position switch in here. You do not need to install that. That is not required for this installation. If you want to hold on to it, you can, but you can see there's the mechanism for the cylindrical lock in there. So please make sure you read through the instructions on the mechanical side of how to physically install it, but from an electrical system side, what I just showed you is everything that you need to know. And when in doubt, contact